What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 163 of Let Me Get That Podagraph, and it is live. We are live tonight, Wednesday, what is it, 28th? September
28th, yeah.
2022, for those listening in a couple of years when we're still doing this show, since we're right around our 6 or 7 year anniversary. I can't remember. I got to check the exact date, but I know we're very close. We might have already passed it, but welcome everybody. As always, my name is Drew, or the DH, and joining me tonight, we got two awesome co-hosts. My normal co-host, as always, Mr. Scott Rappaport. What's up, my man?
What's going on, Drew? I love how you I used the Let Her Rip opening, and it had all the Zion cards in there.
Yeah.
That story just popped today about how they had, during their scrimmages and practice, Zion was just dominating.
Oh, he looks amazing.
I know. I'm excited.
He looks incredible. So am I. So is that red wave hanging up on the Show Your Slabs wall. Shout out to one of our awesome sponsors. And also joining us tonight, you guys know him. I mean, if you've been to a card show, how can you not? The man behind the awesome Slab Strongs. Tim, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? Dude, that was a great intro. I was rocking out. I know you know I'm lying because you didn't see me, but in my head, though, I was rocking out, man. That was dope.
There you go. Well, sweet.
I was actually going to suggest that we start the open with Cowboy Mouth's Hurricane Party as the intro tonight.
Too soon.
Too soon. Well, it's still going on.
My parents live in Tampa. Too soon right now.
Yeah. So we actually had an awesome additional guest lined up for us tonight that had to back out at the last minute because he is from Jacksonville, Florida. And they weren't supposed to get hit with the hurricane that bad, but because it changed tracks, it's on its way there. So he's doing some battening down of the hatches, and we're gonna have him on coming up in a future episode as well. So
very nice. Yeah, we did have a couple of extra people that we're gonna join, but we're gonna kick it with the three of us tonight. Tim, it's glad that have you back on the show. You've been on quite a bit, so you know the show quite well. Guys, also a quick shout out. We will be opening throughout the show tonight. We'll be opening up a box of 2022 WWE Revolution. And we'll be giving some of the stuff away that's inside this box to you guys live on the air. So hang out. If you got any questions, anything like that, let us know. Anything that you'd like to discuss in the hobby, anything you'd like our opinions on as well. We've got a lot of stuff that we're going to touch on tonight, but Scott, we got to talk about what dropped earlier today, because speaking of Panini, they dropped some news, guys.
And if you guys remember my rant of the week last week,
it was about
this is tied in directly to that. Panini decided that they were going to make some major changes to their redemption program, and basically, it's terrible. Now you get the 120 days or, whatever. And if you choose at that point a replacement card and you don't like what they send you, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I did like about it, because again, I got to throw some positives out there, is that they are going to give you the value of a replacement based upon what the value was when you redeemed the card.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a positive, because there's a lot of cards that, you buy the redemption and it's ridiculously overpriced, and a year or two goes by and you're still waiting on the damn thing, and the prices on those things have just dropped because the player sucked or, didn't pan out, or happens to be Michael Porter Jr.
Stop saying that name. Stop. You did it on purpose.
If you say it 3 times, he's going to show up.
Or hurt his back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Either one.
So we can say it once per show, and and then that's it.
Unless we're calling Pogba's brother. You got his number, let me know.
Oh, well, we're going to, you know what? I'm going to bring that up because there's a whole other story revolving around that one that is absolutely, and it's got nothing to do with Pogba.
Right.
It's got to do with Mbappe, and we'll talk about that later.
Right.
But I actually like that because you're with the value, you're going to wind up getting something that is basically what you kind of paid for the card.
Yeah.
Now, how they're tracking it, I have no idea. But if they got to go back 6 months, a year, or whatever, and do a replacement and find the value on that, they're going to need an entire research department
No,
for
yeah.
this. And we all know how well Panini has been doing with staffing lately in their customer service department. So
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to go. I know there's a lot of people that are pissed off about it. You know,
Well, they should be, because they're eliminating you having any say whatsoever in what it is. It leaves it very subjective to that limited staff, and if you get somebody who's doing this on a week where they're just overrun with the amount of stuff they have to do, I know plenty of the employees there, they are overrun over there.
yeah, I mean that's every week. How is that
Yeah,
not different?
and so you get them in that, they're not really, I honestly don't think half the time they're going to care what they throw in there. And I don't like that change in policy. I thought the one thing that Panini did really great was how they handled redemptions. You know, they would honor expired ones. They would do the exchanges at the National, which they still do. We'll see.
Well, who knows what they'll do next year? This change wasn't in place at the last National.
Exactly. So, I mean, who knows how that's going to turn out and how they're going to change that. But there's just so many different changes they're making to the redemption policy. I just hope it's because they have more faith in the contracts and the athletes actually going to sign as a positive. I'm trying to figure out of why they would be so confident as to put these things in place, because to me it just seems like it's an invitation to make people angry. But Tim, what do you think? Well, I mean, what do you think about all this?
All right. It's frustrating, but I got to say, this year, I think in under about 5 months, shout out Corey, shout out Batman.
Yes.
I sent in my first redemption to Panini. And I got it, I want to say, within 5 months. So I was really happy with that. Wasn't a big player, right? So maybe that was the reason. It's tough. Obviously, so it's about timing, right? So now you have to send in your redemption right away. Yeah. There's still no safeguards for the secondhand market of selling a redemption. There's a lot of things wrong with selling redemptions, right? With redemptions at all. And so
well, it has a major effect on the sealed product down the line too, you know, years down the line when those are expired.
Yeah, so that's the true problem, right? Is how can you can't hold product anymore.
No.
You got to get rid of it in 6 months, but that's not really the game, right? You got to hold back what 10, 20% of the product you're getting. And that's just, and that's in like, if you have a great class, right? Like, you know, what's going to happen when it really drops? If Zion didn't come back, what would happen? So it's really tough. At the end of the day, I assume everything is with good intentions. Maybe it's about money. Maybe it's about printing, right? Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping it's not just greed. I'm hoping it's something.
Well, I think the good intention side of this one is I think they're hoping that the change in policy will make it easier on their customer service team. You know, they're not going to be fielding all the calls to, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still going to be fielding the calls.
That customer service team is a doubles tennis team, by the way.
No, exactly. But I think these changes are designed to make it easier on them.
Yeah.
But here's another question, and you brought this up about holding product.
Mm-hmm.
Because the change is taking effect where expired redemptions are not going to be honored anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that have been holding product for years. There's a ton of guys that have been holding, 20 for Prism and Select and NT from 2014, 15, 16, and on. Is that going to cause a massive dump of those products into the market prior to this kicking in? And the answer is I don't know.
Well, I would ask the question for that point is, does the mass public even look, or the mass part of the hobby, right? It's a niche hobby, but do they even look at the checklist to see what's a redemption and what's not a redemption in these boxes?
No.
So you gotta have,
but usually the guys that are buying the high end, 5-6 year old boxes that are selling for $3-4 grand, they know what the redemption, who is the redemption.
Well, don't be so confident on that. I've worked at with my former company and everything, and sold a lot of very high end old school basketball wax and things like that, where people had no clue what the redemptions were, and having to inform them that they were expired. People that would want to come up and give us and sell us a lot of these old school classic legendary boxes. They'd have astronomical price tags on them because of the chance to hit these autos and these RPAs that don't exist and you're never going to get. So there's a lot of people that do own that stuff that have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah, but I think those aren't the people that are necessarily in it for the hobby aspect of things.
I know. I'm just saying.
Those are the people that, that their buddies were into it. They saw that they were making a ton of money on it. They went and picked up a bunch of product to hold for a couple of years as an investment, but they're not really knowledgeable about, how the hobby works or what's in it, what's not. The people that I think are in there,
And see, this right here, as 304 says, they didn't even know that Panini honored expired redemptions. Oh, up until a couple of months ago, they did. Up
until a couple of hours ago, they did.
Yeah, I mean, really, they still would up until a couple hours ago. Yeah. But they would take any redemption, and if it was possible, a lot of them did get fulfilled. I mean, like Julio. Julio is a prime example. 9 years. Took him 9 years to send all of his big autographs back as redemptions, but he actually did finally send them back. And a lot of people did wait those 9 years, and those cards are quite expensive.
He probably lost them, and when he moved recently, he probably found them as his stuff was able to do it.
But they would honor any redemption, and if they didn't have the card or weren't able to fulfill it, they would give you the option of listing a line of players, and you could go high end, if you wanted, and take a shot, and they would try and at least do a team or a player similar. If they couldn't do that player, they were very good about doing replacements for those redemptions. I used to love buying expired redemptions and either taking them to the National or sending them right in and having them send me a player back if it's a high-end card. But, that whole thing is gone now. And I thought that was something that they really had going for them in terms of customer care and, taking and it made those boxes with those redemptions still have value, because you knew if you were sending in, let's say, a Mahomes expired when it expires or whatever, I believe they are now, if there are any still out there. But let's say it was a Mahomes or anything like that. Like, you knew you were going to get a Mahomes. If they didn't have it, you were getting something very similar. Now they're not even going to take it. You're not getting anything. So I mean, it's ridiculous.
Is there at all slim chance they're trying to ease the burden in case technically they're owned by a different company soon? To start setting dates and time frames of, hey, we're Panini, right? But they don't want to get a bad name. So at some point, if something's going to happen,
right?
I just feel like, are they setting the table like, hey, if we wait this long, what can we tell you, type of thing, without saying it?
And it's possible, but I mean, as far as being owned,
very possible.
But as far as being owned by another company, I mean, the only company that would own them would be Fanatics, and Fanatics could have done the same thing with Topps and said, hey, we're a different owner now, and we're not going to be honoring any redemptions and things like that, but they didn't. Yeah. So, because redemptions that were, done prior to Fanatics buying Topps that had not expired yet were still good. They were still fulfilling them, and even if you have one that is expired with Topps, you still fill out the back of the card, mail it in, and a lot of times they'll send you something. If it's
that's the thing too, right? Like Topps has a very strong relationship with baseball. Maybe that transition was easier, whereas Panini, what can they do in 2 years? Yeah. But it's just a thought I was just thinking, just came to my head now,
And it's very, very possible that is one of the reasons that was done, and I'm sure it was discussed in the room quite a bit. Phoenix sports fan, this right here is ridiculous. They gave him points for a Kobe expired. They were doing so good on the Kobe.
Well, I mean, it depends on how. He didn't say how many points. I mean, if they gave him 100,000 points,
yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like they had something good going with the snake skins. They had a lot of his stuff that actually was redeemed that is still sitting in boxes that they're able to actually put out. Because he was a Panini exclusive. He was one of their top athletes when he passed, and he had been for a couple years. So there's no shortage of Kobe that they have in stock. So doing something like that's ridiculous. But 304 Sports asks, and guys, please, any questions you do have, let us know. And if you'd like to call in, I put the link in the chat right there. Feel free to click it and call in. We'd love to have you join as well. But so he's now asking, so basically is Panini now sending a random replacement after 6 months if your card is not available. It basically they are, if you choose to have it replaced. Now you can choose to wait. From my understanding, you can still choose to wait, but if you choose a replacement, it's just going to be based on the value. Now I do like Scott said, it's the value of when you redeemed it. So if you redeem it during their high point, even if it drops a lot in that 6 months, you still get that higher value.
Yeah.
But what are they going to consider as that higher value, and how are they going to make that determination is the thing.
Well, the one thing I don't like about that,
they want. They can have whatever formula they want to value the cards, and that's where it becomes.
Well, here's the one thing that I didn't like about that aspect of it is they did state that they may replace the value of that card with multiple cards,
right,
of lower value. So you wind up getting like 2 or 3 or 5, or whatever the number of cards is to make it value. But Phoenix sports fan says he thinks it was 6,000 points for that Kobe expired auto, and if that's the case, dude,
ridiculous.
you got bent over.
That's ridiculous. That's
that
absurd.
hurts.
That's absurd, and that's stuff that's why I think this causes more problems than anything. I think you said earlier they wanted to ease the burden on customer service. This is not going to ease the burden. There are going to be so many cards that are replaced that do not near equal the value. That are, like you just said, multiple cards. You're going to get a couple, like a Mo Bamba and a Colin Sexton for your freaking Anthony Edwards, like.
How about this wrench thrown into the mix, right? Think about this. Okay, Panini, let's say the redemption was an out of 10 card.
Yeah.
Well, Panini, shouldn't you be sending me a PSA 10?
Right.
I don't care that it's raw. Shouldn't this out of 10 be coming to me perfect? So what value you're valuing at raw? Where do you value at this thing? Because shouldn't that company then back themselves and say, no, we're going to send you this perfect cut, which we all know isn't true, but I'm just throwing that out there. Like, how do you really determine value?
That's what I'm saying. They can determine it however they want. Whatever formula they choose to make up in their head, they can make up a literal, okay, these are worth, and not go for exact prices. Let's say they just make a 100, 300, 500, 700, and they could literally just walk down the aisle and just pick what they think it's worth. And that by them is their standards of what value is. Now, obviously they can't do like $2,000-$3,000 off or like hundreds and hundreds of dollars off, but the value can be quite a bit less, especially when you add in the multiple card aspect of redeeming some of this. And like you said, you should be getting something back that is perfect, that is, worth your time and being bent over like this. But I think this is going to cause 20,000 more problems for customer service with the complaints, the issues, and just everything for them. But Kevin James actually said, and I did want to address this, said when you look at the average card you can get for 150 points on the site versus the average card you should have got, it's very lopsided. And I will agree with you. However, earlier this week, right before they did this redemption announcement, which is weird, they actually loaded the reward site with the entire OBJ Prism Rainbow.
Yeah.
A lot of very big Justin Jefferson autos were on there, optic autographs, and a couple others. They really put a ton on the page. Obviously, once people were aware, because they put a timer on it that it was coming, they were snapped up pretty quick. But if you had points and you missed out on the white sparkles, you got incredible deals on like the OBJs and stuff, because they put them at a pretty decent price point, all the way down to his one of one. So I mean, they're starting to change that and hopefully adding more value to the reward site.
I'm pretty sure that Justin Jefferson was like only 1,500. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
It was real low.
Yeah, no, it was not a lot whatsoever. Like, I mean,
I want to know what those.
I have like
cards,
10,000 points in my account, so like 1,500. It's like, wow, okay, that's
well.
awesome.
With those cards, how many of them were originally redemptions that have since expired, and now they said, well, now that we're not doing expired redemptions anymore, we're just going to throw them up on the site.
Well, that's something I'm going to look into now, because I still have the screenshots when I posted it on Instagram. So I actually am going to see if redemption cards of those were ever sold, because that's a good question. That could tie into it. But they did do a massive dump of tons of very good players, OBJ and Jefferson just being two of a lot of people that I saw that were added just out of nowhere. And they were snapped up quickly. There's still a couple of some stuff, and there's still a lot of decent stuff on there right now. But they did put out literally OBJ's entire Prism Rainbow, which is pretty awesome. If you're an OBJ collector, you can snap up some points and knock out an entire rainbow at once. That's pretty cool. So maybe they're changing that. But as far as the redemptions go, you know, this stuff's frustrating to me. I can't wait until the athletes have their bigger stake in the company, so to speak, and in the profits. So redemptions, I think, change quite a bit, but it's going to be a while before that happens, I think. But speaking of college, and speaking of and everything like that, and redemptions and stuff like that in products, and adding stuff in products, did you guys see what's coming to Immaculate Football this year? The NFL Panini threw a little wrinkle. I don't know if anyone's aware of this. It was announced today as well. Dropping quite a bit of interesting news today, Panini. But they announced that in the new Immaculate Football, there's going to be an NIL line. Literally, with Bryce Young, like all the top quarterbacks in the league, in college, it looks like, along with a couple of other players. This is quite interesting. I mean, it's one of their entry-level high-end products, if you will. You know, I'd call it a high-end product, at least the way it's priced. But I mean, what do you guys think of them adding the NIL and NIL athletes into Immaculate when they already have Immaculate Collegiate coming out? And now they can do that whenever they want. So they've already got all this stuff. But what do you think of them adding it in something like Immaculate?
Well, when you have a crappy rookie class,
yes,
you gotta do something that can sell the product. And you got these guys that aren't going to be draft eligible for a couple of years, and hey, let's get them on an NIL. Now, I also think that they look at what Topps did with the Bowman product
University,
and that actually did really well.
Well, it did great. I love it.
And that, I've got a feeling, is going to be the product that keeps on giving for the next 3 or 4 years, because you've got a lot of the guys that were freshmen that have the first Bowman card and all the color and the autos, and that's a product where you've got to sit on half of it, but the other half is good right away. But the color that was coming out of that, and I think Panini's trying to replicate that, but I don't think that they've got enough NIL agreements to make a dedicated product for it. So they said, screw it. Let's just put it in immaculate.
Yeah, so I want to ask you guys this: with them putting it in immaculate, I 100% think it's with this rookie class, and everyone in the chat, I'd love to know your answer to this. But without those guys in the NIL, when the big products come out this year, when Flawless, National Treasures, Prism, Optic Contenders comes out, what rookie do you care about? I mean, what rookie is really going to drive that product right now? None of them. And I don't think one of them's going to stick out by then either. And so I think you're going to see these NIL deals in quite a few products. I would not be surprised if you saw the first NIL Prism cards this year. I think they're setting a precedent right here with Immaculate, showing you that, hey, it might not be in every product like, Prestige and Donruss and all that, where you have your rated rookies, your regular stuff. But when it comes to big products, they're not going to hesitate to throw them in, I don't think. Because something's got to push this, and Bryce Young's going to push it himself more than any rookie in this class is at all.
Oh, exactly. And I'm going to tell you, so Corey, I'm going to be Tim's agent on this one, and it's going to cost you the cheeseburger. It's going to cost you a pack of ramen and a carton of smokes.
Sweet.
And the deal's done.
Yeah,
we'll make it a Prism deal, right? Or a prison deal on that one.
Yeah, Arch Manning, one that they could. I didn't see any mock-ups of him on this, but he's somebody that would be a needle mover. But I think.
Well, I don't think Louisiana allows NIL deals for high school athletes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do either.
But you better believe that he's going to have one once by the time he gets to college.
Yeah, but it's
so. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
I'm a little biased. I collect college.
So do I.
But I don't collect it for the value though, and the problem is, I don't. I don't care that much about Alabama, Ohio State. I'm sure they got a couple of the big ones. At the end of the day, I don't know what a quarterback in a college uniform does for an NFL product more than what Chronicles already does. They could have thrown it in Chronicles.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But here's the thing, right? Say the same thing in this basketball. I'm searching for some college players in basketball. For me, football doesn't do it.
Right.
But I just don't know how much, like without looking right. I don't know off the top of my head, but like, what are these? What's a Trevor Lawrence college patch going for? I don't think it's nearly. Well, I know it's not nearly as much as an NFL, but what can it really do for the product? Are you going to be happy if you don't pull the number one quarterback in a college uniform? You're going to be devastated if you get the fifth best quarterback in a college uniform. So I'll be interested to see if they do it in basketball. I buy it, but football doesn't do it for me. But yeah, I can see what they're trying to do. I just don't know if it's going to work.
No, I 1,000% agree. I don't think these are going to have near the value they expect, especially considering they're going to have their pro cards, and true rookies with the rookie card logo the very next year. At least the people that I've seen put in this, but I think it's something you're going to see at least Panini do until if they ultimately sell, if everything, that we're hearing and everyone's hearing is true, it'll be done relatively soon. But if they're not, and Panini's going to work by themselves, I think they're trying to figure out some way to, get all the money they can for all the product they can and make the products as big as they can on a year where the draft is just so down. There's a lot of amazing players in this draft, but they're not amazing players for the hobby. They're great players for NFL teams, and they're going to be amazing starters, but they're not the collectability factor players.
Well, that's because a lot of them that are the top rookies that were drafted this year are defensive players.
Right. Defensive and offensive.
Let's be honest. Defensive player, offensive linemen don't drive the hobby.
No.
It's quarterbacks. It's one or two running backs every year and some wide receivers and the occasional tight end. But that is it. And the reality is it's mostly the quarterbacks that are driving the products.
Yeah.
That's just it's the way it is. And frankly, I think the hobby, people in the hobby are missing out on a lot of solid players because, they don't want some 400-pound offensive lineman.
That's also why my
as a
Thomas
rainbow.
Davis collection is so awesome, because I can get his cards cheap. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame linebacker, and I can get his cards incredibly cheap all day long. I mean, I like it, but at the same time, when we're talking about driving a product, it's incredibly frustrating because there isn't anyone in this. And so I expect this year, and I'll go on and say it right here on the show, I expect NIL in Prism. It'll be in Prism. I don't know if it'll be an optic because they have the rated rookies.
Well, okay, but would that be better than Combine?
Now, we'll hold on a second though. Are we talking about NFL Prism, or are we talking about Prism Draft?
No,
because the draft, because the product in Immaculate that's coming out with the NIL stuff is draft. Now, I can see them doing it in Prism Draft.
It'll definitely be in Prism Draft. I don't know if it'll be in Prism Pro Football, but
now I don't do a lot of football, but I will tell you right now, if NIL is in there and it's more than 2 or 3 of the top players, the top draft eligible guys in the next couple of years, that's going to be something that's going to drive a lot of people away from that product.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I would not put it past them if this draft class if someone doesn't emerge from this draft class. And this is 100% Make-Believe Collectors League. This is all speculation, 1,000%. We're just thinking about what they're opening a Pandora's box by including NIL athletes in these products, and how far they'll go really, I think, is going to depend on how long they're still a company independent from Fanatics and Topps.
Now, Drew, I will say the flip side of that coin is the collegiate or draft, products. They do include a lot of people that either didn't get drafted or got cut and never played.
Yeah, they're the guys I collect. They're East Carolina guys.
And I'll tell you, I would rather have some of those top NIL guys than the guy that got drafted in the 7th round and
got cut. East Carolina and we're cool.
They got cut after the first week of training camp, and is sitting on a practice squad somewhere with 0 chance of ever making it to the league.
Right.
I'd rather have a Bryce Young.
Yeah,
but if they're if they're going to leave those players out of it, then okay, maybe it's going to be a good thing. I have no idea.
All right. Well, speaking of, we talked about adding cards to the product with Immaculate having cards added to them. Scott, we got to do a follow up, and I'm glad Tim you're here. I want to get some more people's perspective on this as well. And guys in the chat, let us know what you think. But Topps Chrome and their wonderful SPs. Now we'll go from adding cards to missing cards. So Topps Chrome comes out, and Scott, you and I talked about how they segregated them into a separate set of the extended super short prints or whatever the hell that cute name they put behind them, the 5-card set, and then they didn't put them in the boxes.
No, and when we recorded our last episode, we were not aware because the product came out the next day,
right?
That they were not in there, and they came out afterwards and said, "Oh, we screwed up, and the printer screwed up, but we're going to put them in separate silver packs." And originally, it was a 2-card silver pack, and they're going to be sending them to all the hobby shops that ordered direct from them. And then they also had the people that ordered direct off the website. They're going to be receiving them as well. But then but not every silver pack is going to have one of the short prints.
Right.
It means they're going to be loaded with base cards.
Yeah.
Then they came out a couple days later and said, well, we're upping it to 4 cards in a silver pack, and we're going to be throwing in a whole bunch of extra random stuff that is going to be cool. And that's not a direct quote, by the way. That's just me interpreting what they said was, hey, we're going to be throwing in a bunch of cool stuff, and, that's fine. Now, we also come to find out that the short prints were never intended to be in the retail product.
Yeah.
So all these people that bought like blaster cases and things like that, hoping to get the retail product, which by the way, the shelf price on these things is $35 now.
Yeah.
There was no chance they were ever getting it because the short prints were not supposed to be in retail. Now, the one thing I did like that they did with this screw up was they're going to have a lottery. So if you bought a retail product, you send them a copy of your receipt by email, and once a month they're going to draw a bunch of names to receive a silver pack or two or whatever it is. So that's good. But, we don't know how often the short prints are going to hit and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing that really drives me nuts. So the news got out there, and we've got this situation. It's like, oh yeah, everybody knows short prints are there, but people are posting in a bunch of the Facebook groups and on Instagram and stuff like that, the Julio and the Witt autos and stuff like that they've pulled. And you wind up getting like 50 comments from people like, oh, wait, how did you pull that? The short prints aren't supposed to be in there. They're only supposed like, they don't understand what the short prints are.
Right.
And I have a feeling these are the same people that I'm going to be referencing when I get to my rant of the week.
Okay. I'll let you do that in just a minute.
But no, I'm going to do that in a minute.
I'm scared.
That's like that. Like, how do you not know the difference between a short print and an auto?
Well, it comes back to what I was saying. Well, people don't research. But what do you think, Tim? What do you think?
I was going to ask him the same thing, because how do you not know the difference between a round ice cube and a square ice cube?
But,
Shout out. I would pour it. But
we are missing. Yeah, unfortunately, we are. But for this live show, we are missing the infamous ice ball.
That is incredibly disappointing. Every guest except for our awesome co-host today, Tim, had to back out, even the fucking ice ball. So
I know, and you know what? I feel shame. I'm going to take my 2 minutes in the box, and
you're good.
We'll be good. Yeah. So sorry. It's
no, but. But yeah, it comes down to people not doing research. It's they don't know. And the thing that drove me crazy about when they did this, first of all, I thought the solution, it's as good of a solution as they can do, because there's just no other way to get them out there. Now you've just got to trust that your breaker is honest. There's going to be a lot of breakers that pocket these. There's going to be a lot of card shops that pocket these. There's going to be a lot of breakers that set up a separate break for these that people are going to have to buy back into. They should be open and given, and any legit breaker is going to open them and give them to the teams that, allocate them to the breaks, give them to the teams that they should go to. But a lot of breakers are just going to pocket them. A lot of card shops are. And also, it's just, I don't know. It's a screw up on a manufacturing level. It's awful. I don't know where these were printed. I'm assuming they were printed here, being such a big release that it was printed at Cartamundi here in Texas, or over there in Texas, here in the United States, as opposed to
I don't think any of the American sports are printed.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's done down at the Texas plant, but how these don't get into packs is what's more concerning for me, because now we're hearing a lot of people saying that there's possible stuff missing from Chronicles, and some other stuff that hasn't shown up yet. So I don't know. It seems to be possibly some infrastructure problems over there as well. But
I think there's always something, man. Even the 90s, missing names, this and that. I think I love Topps. I must ask myself this question all the time. Like, they're doing their best, right? The thing that sucks is it's always the secondhand guys. And I know, right. Luckily, first of all, it shouldn't have happened, right? But I feel like they caught it early enough to where there isn't. I know a couple of guys that are breakers that have the stuff, and they didn't break that many. So that's lucky for the people that were paying. Yeah. The breakers that I know are going to do they're going to put them in the team break or whatever. They're going to get it back to the people that picked them. I know a lot of good breakers. There's always going to be a few, right, of whatever. But I think I think they're going to come through with this. I just think there's so much. Like, we're in it now, right? We're in this hobby. We care about every piece of news that come out. At the end of the day, I think it goes back to the redemption thing. It's like, I don't think people know. And you said it earlier. I don't think people really research. They're just seeing TikToks and podcasts about it. But at the same time, I bet you there's people out there that still go, no, I'll pull it out of that box. Or like you said earlier, it's not the SSP, it's the SP, whatever it is. And they think they're pulling it. So,
well, the funniest thing to me is all the people that got so mad and were so angry that didn't buy a box, got into a break and didn't have that team. Like, so many people that were like, you know, I had the Marlins and I pick your team. There's no Marlins super short print yet. They're out there flipping out over this. If you got a personal box, yeah, I get it. You have the right to be upset. If you buy those teams in a break, yeah, you have all the right in the world to be upset. Other than that, you buy into a random team, I guess, you know, yeah, you have a right to be upset. Other than that,
well, it depends on with the random teams. It depends on what team you wind up getting. If you get one of the teams where there could have been a short print, then yeah, you got every right to be pissed off.
Right.
But if you get the Marlins,
all these other people flipping out and doing it, it's just white knighting bullshit that some of these I don't want to really call them like hobby shows, but more of these hobby exposed type of like TMZ
hobby shows about hobby shows.
Yes, exactly. Those, you know, they just keep it going and it gives them a safe space to just go and vent and just talk shit about everything. And so the white knighting was ridiculously funny to me and pathetic. I mean, it's honestly sad, and I don't understand. Like, to me, if I didn't look at this wall and all this stuff back here and think it's fucking awesome, like, I wouldn't be in the hobby. I wouldn't sit there and fucking bitch about it all day long.
I'm still buying Tops. I'm still buying Panini. I'm still buying Immaculate. I'm still gonna come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
All right. So Scott, we're getting a little later into the show. We got a couple things to talk about, but I know you got something that's on your mind. For those of you that are just tuning in that don't listen weekly, please also you can listen weekly on all major podcast networks through iHeartMedia. But we have a segment on the show, which is Scott's Rant of the Week. And so for the second week in a row, we're going to do Rant of the Week. I don't have the music queued up, so dun-dun-dun-dun.
You can edit it in when when we
I know what
this
to
one. All right. So my rant of the week: our public school systems have failed us, and you know why? Right. It's not just because of the grammar Nazis getting out over and telling everybody about there, and how they're doing 2, 2, and 2 wrong. No, that's not it.
I got some stuff for sale.
I am sick and that's where I'm going. I am sick and tired of the people, and it's all the young freaking millennials that are out there that don't know the difference between the word sale and the word sell. I saw a guy last week walk into a card shop and said, "Hey, I've got something I want to sell." What? Like a boat? I mean, shit, I'll meet you down at the harbor. I'll bring my life vest. I'll work the gym.
Let's go.
Let's have some fun with it. No, you need to know the difference between the word sell and the word sale. Hey, look, I'm having a sale. Excellent. Hey, look, I want to sell something. You know what, Tim? I want to sell you a bunch of stuff. All right, excellent. Tim, do you want to sell me anything today? Yeah. See, that's the thing. We need the sound effects on this one to make it good. No, you people need to figure out, get a freaking thesaurus.
I know.
And maybe go take a night class at the community college or something like that. And the worst part about it is half these people, if you pull up their damn Facebook profiles, they're college graduates.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is what gets me.
Right.
How? Well, no, it does, but it doesn't matter. How do you not know the difference between sell and sale and the different uses of the word? It doesn't make any freaking sense.
No.
So I'm gonna get off my horse now, and that's my rant of the week.
There you go. And I agree with you. It drives me fucking crazy, but that's just because that's the journalist in me and the person who's got a lot of writing going on. Hey, we got a special caller joining the show. So
who is it?
Let's bring him on right now. Yeah. What's up?
What up? What up?
Man? Collectors League joining the show. What's up, man?
Touchdown.
Hold on.
So
here.
I'm assuming you're here to comment on the rant.
Hold on.
No, he's here to ruin the audio. This is what he does. He's a friend of mine, but this guy that's what he does. Echo.
There you go. So what's up, man?
I told you, this is my guy. But
I don't think he can hear it. Or we
Microphone's
can't
not
hear
working.
him.
Microphone's not working. Probably
guys,
There we go.
This is the perfect opportunity to just smile and nod at this dude.
Yeah.
That way he just like.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
Yeah. No.
This is a perfect opportunity to just smile and nod at this dude.
Hey, Drew, you got to turn that 5-second delay off, man.
I don't have a
No,
on the 5-second
it's just-
delay part.
It's just lag.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
Here we go.
No microphone at the moment, man. We can't hear you.
We're good now, right?
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
we are. All right, good.
I had
deal.
two screens on. I was trying to mute one. All right.
What's
I
up, bro?
learned. Sorry, guys.
What's
It was
up,
like
bro?
a Max Headroom remix moment.
No problem. What's
I
good?
don't,
How
think,
you
I don't
doing?
think half the people listening know who Max Headroom is.
Yeah.
Dap me up, dude.
What? Back you up on what?
I got you, bud. I'll drop you down low. There you go. So what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are y'all?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for calling in.
I was just listening to y'all beat up Panini and the Redemptions.
Yeah.
Just listening to and watching Tim watch y'all. Tim, do you have any news? Anything going on with you? You've been kind of
Yeah.
quiet. I was actually curious what you had going on.
That's exactly where we were about to go. So I'm glad you're here.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
There we go.
What can I tell you guys?
No, go
Yeah.
ahead, dude. The platform is yours. That's literally what's on the agendas. I want to know what's going on with you and Slab Strong, man. I got him right here on the desk, bro.
On Saturday at what time is it? What time is it Saturday?
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I see it.
What time? 4 o'clock. Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Slabstrong getting married on Saturday. 4 o'clock.
No, don't
What?
stop. There's time to back out. Don't
No.
make the same mistake that I did.
Congratulations, dude.
So, are you going to get married and go straight to the industry summit?
No.
Honeymoon
married.
at the summit.
Okay, so check this out. I get married, right?
Yeah.
Kill it. We're just doing our thing. You know, we're married. Then we go to Disney at the end of October. All married. We're gonna be married. Then something I'm really excited about. November 16th, I'll be on. I don't know if he contacts you, Drew. I gave him your number for the virtual card show. I'm real excited about that. It's literally called the Monthly Card Show. Everybody go check them out. I'll be a featured vendor. A lot of my friends, I even think Collectors League, this guy right here might even be there. I hope to see you guys there. I'm also, check this out. I'm also gonna start breaking.
Nice.
With my guy, you already know, with my guy Gio at Card Shop Live. So I'm excited to.
I love the card
Now,
shop
Tim,
live
hold on a
guys,
second
dude.
though. So you're getting married. You said you were going to Disney and you were going to be married, but when you did the virtual card shop, you didn't mention that you were going to be married at the time you were doing the virtual card show. So does that?
No, I see what you're trying to do there. No, I see what you're trying to do there. No, that's the point of a virtual card show, right? The monthly card show, so that you don't leave area codes, right? So, anyways, yeah. So we're doing that. So married, gonna be ripping on Card Shop Live exclusively. I'm getting real exclusive. Corey and I. Still rocking out with our slab change. You already know. We got a bunch of orders from those still.
Here,
I see it hanging there. Corey and I, stand-up displays. We're always doing stuff with him. Collectors League. This guy, he actually did all that flyer work for me for that Tillman, Drew.
Okay.
Nice.
So yep.
Nice.
No, just keep trying to expand. I do have a new SKU coming for Slab Strongs. I'm not going to announce it now, though, in case someone tries to steal it.
Right.
But yeah, so I got a new SKU coming for that. And
love the clear, by the way. Clear looks awesome.
You. I'm also like you already know I'm printing on it now. I'm able to do some certain things. So no, I'm just trying to expand, showing more shows, gonna break some products.
So can we speaking of shows, can we get you out to Chicago the week before or the weekend before Thanksgiving for the Chicago Sports Spectacular 3-day show in Rosemont?
What day is it?
It's the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Not if it's the 16th. I'll be at the.
No, I think it's the weekend. I think it's the weekend after. I'm gonna have to look at my calendar here.
Yeah. Yep.
We gotta get you out for that because that's a great one. It's actually the. I think it's the 19th. I think it's 18th.
Did you say
19th,
you're going to start
20th.
traveling some more and making more shows?
Say it again.
Didn't you say you're going to try to make at least 2 shows a month coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be working a lot with. Honestly, I think you guys know how I am now. Just with a lot of friends, whether it's Show Your Slab, Stand Up Slates, Card Shop Live. I'll be at shows, at their booth. I think 2 times a month, just helping Trade Safe, right? Doing the Trade Safe, right. Who is they're doing monthly card show. I don't know. It's just I've been able to start getting opportunities based off of honestly the hat, the chain, and just having fun, right? So I've tried to expand. Like I said, more SKUs for Slab Strong. But then, personally, I'm just trying to continue to work with my friends, continue to work with good companies, good businesses, continue to, I don't know, be myself. Just keep expanding. So.
Well, hey, one of the reasons, man, it's not just because of the hat and all that. I've witnessed it at a lot of shows because I do a lot of shows as well. You grind, man. You're always grinding. You're always working. You're always putting the work in and making those moves. That's awesome for you. I'm really happy.
Tim has introduced me to a lot of people, so
Same here.
I appreciate Tim.
Same here. So, all right, guys. Well, I guess it's about time to wrap up the episode. I do want to shout out.
I want to do a quick. We're on Judge Watch tonight.
Yes.
Yes. Because of what's going on with that. Yankees are up 6-3, and Judge hit number 61.
Wow.
No.
Top of the seventh inning.
No way.
394
home
run.
Guys, no disrespect. I just gotta check on him. I gotta check on him.
We'll all look just to confirm here. That's the nice thing.
Well, what I want to see, I'm also watching the AL batting title race too, because that thing is close as hell. And Bogarts kind of fell off yesterday with an 0 day, and Arias is currently sitting at 312. Judge, I believe, is currently sitting at 313. So we're literally talking about 100th of a point that separates 1 and 2, and Bogarts was at 310 at the beginning of the game today. This is going to go down to.
We can't let Judge have it all. Judge have it all.
No. And I'm sitting on a ton of Arias stuff, so I'm just waiting for him. I need him to win that batting title, but 61 has been hit.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. 62 will be the real big one.
Of course.
Because who was somebody put out a $2 million bounty on that thing?
Yeah. Which I actually like that bounty because it's a $2 million bounty and the promise to display it. So, it's not being hidden away and it's never going to be seen. Yep. It's going to be on display at Yankee Stadium and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool, deal as opposed to just, I just want the ball, type of deal. But,
and it makes Rick Probstein look cheap because he only offers $5 million.
Yeah. How's that cheaper? What is it? That was $1 million less than what was originally talked about for the 3-patch, right? Wasn't it the 3-patch supposed to be $3 million, or was it $2 million?
No, the 3-patch was supposed to be $5 million, but that wasn't Probstein. That was Ken Golden.
Yeah, Probstein put out $550,000 or something like that. Was it?
I think it was I think it was 500,000 even.
Okay.
And then you got 2 other offers for one came in at $1 million. The other now there's a $2 million offer on 62.
I put $1.5 million in, and I got lucky that I got outbid because I do not have even half. Thank God for my guy Collectors League right here for bidding up.
Yeah, I had to overtake you. I really wanted it. So.
Well, currently I'm in the lead, so someone outbid me. But all right, y'all. Well, before we do, I want to shout out our awesome sponsors. Of course, Tim, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. Slab Strong, as well as Corey and everyone over at Show Your Slabs. Also, Wax Pack Card Ladder, Vandy Slabs, iHeartMedia, and of course, Panini for sponsoring Let Her Rip. Thank you guys so much. Could not do these shows without you guys, but yeah, so another one of the live episodes in the books. We'll, like we said, we're going to be doing some of these just about every month, sometimes twice a month. We've got some really cool stuff coming up. Some of the stuff that we had to reschedule tonight, we'll be doing a live episode soon with that. So a lot of really cool stuff coming at you. Also a new Let Her Rip this week. Of course, Hobby Hotline every Tuesday and Saturdays. Hobby Hotline Saturdays moving over to Bench Clear Media, so you can find us over there on Saturdays.
And hey, Drew, really quick, did you hit anything good out of that WWE box?
Yes, I was actually going to say that I was going to post the hits earlier. There was actually
what was it? A gold Trevor Lawrence? Is that why you didn't show us?
No, yeah, we had an X-Pac circles, nice little X-Pac circles. We had a Ronda Rousey, which we're going to give away here, a fractal Ronda Rousey, the cracked ice. We will be putting up a post, guys, to give these away. We've got a cool Rey Mysterio Cosmic, which is a very, very nice one. And then what were some of the other nice ones?
Was there anything better than my Naomi Mezzanine Black 101 that I hit out of a blaster this week?
There was a Braun Breaker rookie, and then there was an Austin Theory circle. So
okay, so that's actually
box of Revolution, but
that's better. That's better than this Mark Coffee.
Revolution works for WWE. It works really well for WWE. It looks really nice. We'll put some. I'm going to put up a review, guys, of the box here tomorrow as well, so you can check that out.
I mean, since we're popping up stuff. Remember this thing? Remember when this used to be a banger back in 07?
Nice. Yeah.
Was that Java?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is one of those like I should have sold it back. This is one of those I should have sold it back then, but you know.
Hey, there's 2 boxes on your desk we can rip right now, Drew. I see. Let's go ahead.
Right now,
this is the next big thing. Forget about Star Wars. Forget about Immaculate, Captain Planet, Valentine's Day cards.
I like them. I like them a lot. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Like I said, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode of Let Me Get That Podagraph. Tim, Collectors League, Scott, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Until next week, you guys know the deal. Keep ripping those packs, pulling those hits. We'll talk to you then. Peace.